Hello and welcome, my friends. Welcome to Wednesday. Welcome to your full flower moon reading. I was really excited to start this reading as I was very curious to see how the full flower moon is going to impact us, as it itself is being impacted by Mercury retrograde. There is also a meteor shower occurring, and its height it's going to hit on the weekend as well. And not to mention the fact that it's going to be impacted by a lunar eclipse. All these different elements add up to a unique situation, and I was really interested to see how that was going to impact us and how we could use these unique elements to our advantage to support us in moving forward, getting unstuck, and getting going. So, without further ado, let's jump in and see what the full moon has in store for us. So I'm going to do this a little bit differently. I'm going to be using kind of a fun, lighter deck for the full moon. It is the flower moon, so we want that. I haven't even unpacked things. This is how far behind I am this morning. So I brought out my Wild Unknown Tarot, and it is a fantastic deck for some of that more turbulent stuff. And that's what I'm going to look into that lunar eclipse on how that's going to impact us, because it's something we don't want to minimize or avoid. Minimization and avoidance only causes problems. Oh, I dropped the book on my toes. Yep. We all have those mornings. Okay. I got all the cards out now. And I have a book on the floor. You know what? Sometimes you just have to seriously roll with it. Because, let's be honest, it's Mercury retrograde, and sometimes you just have to embrace the Page of Cups. Flexibility and creativity. All right, depending on where we are, we already may feel the full moon, or we can start to feel it kind of transcend into our area. But let's look at what the full moon offers us. Oh, and before I said the Wild Unknown Tarot, but I am using my favorite Everyday Witch Tarot and Oracle. Really drawn to that fun, playful energy. I do love this deck. It is a fantastic deck. And remember, guys, we are in Taurus. So that is, it's kind of a nice grounded stability, because Taurus energy is very stuck. He doesn't like flexibility. He's a very, what's the word? Just a second. There's a word, fixed. I was thinking glue, but that's how it feels. Fixed energy. So he does not have the flexibility that we want in most things. So that does also play into this, because the full flower moon, a lot of times we're like, oh, this is great. I can really embrace this energy. That's because of Taurus and its fixed energy with the earth. All right. So let's look at the full moon first. The Ace of Pentacles reversed. There's going to be stuff that we're missing because of all the expectations, the demands, everything that's going on. Be aware that without embracing that very grounded energy, we are going to miss out on things. And it's going to be an easy miss because of the push and pull that we were already dealing with, and there's going to be that push and pull that's amplified. The King of Cups. Dude's on his head. That king hates to be on his head, but I'm seeing this more and more because of, well, we're becoming more aware of what energies are in play. We're becoming more aware of self, and that makes a difference. So we do have the King of Cups on his head. He is not a happy camper. We're not happy campers. That emotional stability is going to play into this Ace of Pentacles in reversal, because we're going to miss stuff. We're not going to be in control of our emotions. We're going to be reactive and just trying to get through it. That just, oh, I'm going to get through it attitude is going to minimize our ability for really embracing some new opportunities and that growth. Should turn the card. Love it when I do that. So it does talk about what we're not focusing on the right thing here at the Five of Cups. Really just reinforcing that need to be present. It may not feel awesome, but when we use our tools, when we start to really embrace those abilities of ourselves to maintain groundedness, remember to breathe. That is an easy tool. Remember to breathe. We are Mercury retrograde. Yes, it impacts us, but more importantly, it impacts everybody around us, whether they're aware of it or not. And that awareness does impact our ability to control it, control our responses. So we get a heightened extent of Karenisms. We get that very reactive energy, and people are not being able to fully understand it. Computers are going down. The frustration is high. And some of us are like, yeah, it's Mercury retrograde. Just go with it, man. That you can't fight that retrograde. It's just like anything else. Late last year, the majority of the universe was in retrograde at the same time. And I hate it when it does that. Oh my God, nothing is working. And clients are like, what do I do? I'm like, breathe. Just breathe through it. It's like labor. You will get through this. This too shall pass. It hurts. It's frustrating. But at the end of it, you become stronger. So be aware. There is stuff that is available, but we need to be focused in on it. And that's going to be the biggest challenge, being focused in on it. All right, I'm going to add in another deck here. I want to look at the lunar eclipse. What does lunar eclipse want to share? What can we expect from this lunar eclipse? And no, not everybody will see it. It's not a global lunar eclipse. But just like Mercury in retrograde, where the majority of us don't have telescopes, we're not looking. Okay, take them. Take the cards. Please don't throw them on the floor. We don't see that retrograde. We still feel it. Just like gravity. We don't see that either, but we know it's there. So know that it will still impact you, whether or not it is visible in your area. And they change. Unless it's I think it's like global, or I can't remember the actual word for it at the moment, because my brain and I are not friends this morning. Lack of sleep and minimal caffeine is not a good thing. So, I think I said at the beginning, even before I got the cards, this lunar eclipse, it's going to look at that transition, that release. So we have the Death card there. I kind of like how frazzled this looks, because it's not like something beautiful. Some decks have the Death card as a beautiful card. You're like drawn into it. This is messy and just in your face. That's the energy I'm getting. Lunar eclipse, unlike solar eclipse, are more kind of snappy. They have a bite to them. Wheel of Fortune reversed. Well, we know that this is going to be an important aspect and an important movement, if you will. This energy provides us with that ability to get rid of stuff. Anytime we start to release, well, that lower vibrational self goes, yeah, that's not going to happen. Oh my God, scary. And then we are like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to, I'm going to put my head in the sand. I'm going to bed. I'm going to protect myself energetically, and I'm going to avoid. These are opportunities. Very rarely does the universe come in and start physically involving things unless the tower's in play. And it's not. Yay! Mother of Wands, also known as the Queen of Wands. If we have that conviction, that perseverance, that drive and willpower to say, okay, you know what? I don't care if it's scary. I got this. I've done this before. I've been able to make some of these hard decisions for myself. You will see that wheel turn, and you will start to see that things pick up for us. What we're holding on to is not helping us. We know that. We can see that. We can feel it. It is in our physical. It's in our spiritual and our emotional. We're going to be able to really feel that shift because we're going to have that kind of space, if you will, kind of like a spring cleaning within. We're going to have more space within us to fill with the Two of Cups that brings in balance, brings in passion, brings in those new beginnings. But again, we have to be very, aware and in control. The more grounded we are, the more we're turning some of these cards. The more present and conscious we are of choice, the more we're going to be able to choose. We can work with death. We can work with the wheel. We can get it going for our benefit, for our greater good. And that's what we need right now. And I know this is going to be a challenge, but we'll do it. Let's get into this a bit more on what we can do to work with both these energies and kind of shift out of some of this funk, some of this yuck. We don't want to be in this frazzled, upside down, topsy-turvy energy that the majority of us are feeling. And it's not by any fault of our own. It's not like we chose to do this. However, we can consciously choose to get out of it. Okay, let's look at what we can do. How can we really take the bull by the horns and work with all these energies? Taurus, the full flower moon, the lunar eclipse. And yes, there is another in play. There is a meteor shower. It's called the Eta meteor shower. The Eta Aquarids meteor shower. And I said that totally wrong. English is not going to be my first language today. But we have to persevere, even when things are upside down and topsy-turvy. So there's that in play. How can we work with this? How are we going to best be able to serve our needs and still be able to function throughout the rest of the week? And know that the meteor shower is in play. The meteor shower runs from one date and it expands to another date. Friday, Saturday is like the height of the meteor shower. This is in reversal, but it's a good thing. Bringing in some light and some joy. Now the Sun card in tarot, it means what it means. There's only a couple of them. And the two that I always refer to is the sun. It's that joy. It's that light. It's that love. The only other card that I can think of that really only has like the very simplistic meaning is the Three of Swords. It's that heartache and pain, right? Even in reversal, the sun, it's doused a bit in its power. But think of a nice warm day in the summer when the clouds are out. There's still warmth there. There's still light. It's just not as vibrant. And that is the best way I can describe the sun in reversal. So no, we're minimizing it because we're not in control. The more we start to focus in on those positive aspects, Starting to look at, okay, I want to get rid of that and embrace that. Conscious choice. A, you are being present and you're asking for it. And B, you can start to go, okay, well, so how do I do that? Easy ways to do it, especially as a lot of these things are in the evening during sleep, is through some sleep work. Ask the high vibrational beings to help you get rid of it while you sleep, helping to heal you, bring in stability, bring in groundedness. Use your words. They have zero problem hearing us because we're a lower vibration than they are. Just like we have no problem hearing our low vibrational self, that ego self that's like, yeah, no, you can't do this, no, you suck. We've never had a problem not hearing that. We just have to ask. We have to use our words to bring down the law of free will, to bring them in. This is the 5 of Pentacles. Talks about that instability, that inner conflict. I said earlier, our ego is not going to like this well. It is going to be like, oh, no, 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 no. Why would we want to release all the hard work I've done? Why would we want to change that? Growth? No. So making sure that you're aware that it's not going to be, okay, I'm going to just make that decision. I'm going to be conscious and it's going to be, that's all I have to do. Be aware you will second guess yourself, minimize, avoid as much as possible because of, well, what we're looking at, that shift. Focusing in on important aspects, taking control of self, that emotional self. How do we do that? Like I said earlier, remember to breathe. Take breaks. Use your tools. So if you're feeling really unstable, disconnected, destabilized, work with your root chakra. Breathe into your root chakra. I have a wonderful meditation on my channel here that is just solely for your root chakra. I've got many, many grounding healings and meditations. Take your pick. Helps you gain control of that breath, helps ground you, stabilizes you, and starts to turn some of this chaos, some of this instability. All my stuff is guided, it's all of guided meditation healing. I'm not a monetized channel, so it's free. There are no strings attached. It's just tools for you guys. But no, you will have inner resistance. Sleep work, I'll go back to that, is going to be an easy way to start to do some of that release with the least amount of resistance. Because you're not in control of it. You're asking the high vibrational beings to come in, support you with that release. I'd also add in healing, just because wherever this was, physically, emotionally, spiritually, it's gonna have a hole and it's gonna hurt and you're gonna be like, oh, ooh, ouch. Bring it in. They'll help. Mm-hmm. And then wake up, and I would really encourage a shower in the morning just to help shake it all off. And I also usually encourage, as you're doing that, ask them to come in and help you. It's not weird. Just say, help. Clean me, body, mind, and soul for my greater good. And just visualize that gunk coming off. We are not allowing our ego to get into the mix there. We're asking for help. It's easy. Things that we're already doing. A, we should be sleeping. B, we should be bathing. Just asking for some help so you're not adding more into your day. We've got more overturned cards. Page of Pentacles. Pages, of course, that childlike, innocent energy. That pentacle, well, it comes in and it's all about that stability and growth. It's that exploration, asking those hard questions. So taking that time to reflect in. into self, being aware, working with the wheel, bringing in that sass. The Queen of Wands, or the Mother of Wands, is one of the most sassiest, well, she is the sassiest queen, one of the most sassiest cards in the deck. But it is all about that ownership. And that's the big word. If we're going to have one word for this whole lunar eclipse, full moon, meteor shower, it's that. It's that ownership. And finally, the Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands, again, new beginnings, but it talks, unlike the Ace of Pentacles, which talks about growth on that physical level, can, yes, and usually does include that monetary and financial aspect. This talks about fulfillment, that passion base. And it's interesting that we started with a 1 and ended with a 1. And angel messages. Ones mean to listen to you and trust your abilities. You've got this. We just need to start to take some control and some breathing, because the only card that is upright in the full moon reading is the 5 of Cups. Should also mention we do have double 5s, so the 5 of Cups and the 5 of Pentacles. Angel reading or angel messages there. Unlike tarot, the angels are telling you something good and positive is coming your way, but stay true to your plan, stay true to your path. The one thing that is missing in all of this, and sometimes it's that void that speaks louder than what's actually there, is the swords. We have cups, pentacles, we have wands, but we don't have swords. We have major arcana. This is about using that third eye thinking center, because we do need to use our abilities. We need to plan forward. We need to be aware that we may not be present. We may not be conscious because we're in that survival mode. Survival mode won't help us here. Survival mode will get us through it, but we will miss this amazing opportunity for shifting, for that change that we want. When we work with the energies, it's going to be much easier. Less extra stuff for us. It's just another tool that we can use. All right, let's look at what's going to minimize the challenge and start to help you guys overturn some of these cards. Is it just the one? Interesting. One oracle card. Usually there's many of them. Ground and center. I can see why it's just the one. But grounding and centering, so important, because when we are in control of, well, we feel stable, we feel good, we feel in control of self, we are able to remember to breathe and stay in control of our emotions, not be reactive, not be causing us more problems. We are able to look at how is it we release best. And if we don't know, looking at, okay, where can I get that information? Again, we are missing the swords, and that absence screams right now. So take control of it. What do you need to do for you to start to have that ownership, that sass? It doesn't matter what gender we identify with. We all have that inner self, that sass, that well of being, to turn stuff over. Start embracing these new beginnings, embracing the balance of the cups, starting to feel more connected, because we got to remember there is a lot of joy going on, just not seeing it. It's there, but we're like, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so busy, there's so much going on. So making sure that we are taking that time for us, that we're making time to, well, do some work that we need to do for us. Please remember to take slow and steady. We don't need to rewrite the wheel here. Adding more burden will just keep these cards overturned. It's going to really bog down that wheel. We want to work with this stuff, not cause ourselves to be more labored. So like I said, just add little things in your tools. What helps maintain that groundedness, that stability, that clear head? Do you use crystals? Well, which ones would work for you? Do you use something like essential oils? Meditation? What tools do you need to be successful? Because it will depend. It's an individual piece. Just like an artist who will have a favorite paintbrush, we have a favorite tool as well. We need to bring it out right now. Again, using that thinking center. This week truly does offer us some very unique opportunities for growth, for release, getting unstuck, and taking control of self. No, again, these are opportunities. Nothing guaranteed, nothing written in stone. These are opportunities. We have to physically put that intention in, using our abilities and tools to start to reverse those cards and bring them into the upright position. No one else can do it but you. Just remember, we're not looking at adding extra stuff, just working smarter rather than harder to get that ball rolling, if you will. I want to thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that this reading did truly help you to understand how you best can use these very unique energies to your advantage. If you did like this session, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I'm live and when I've posted. If you're looking for an added layer of support, I do have a Ko-fi and Patreon page. I've left links below so you can go check it out. Again, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. And please remember, things aren't written in stone. We have the ability to make shifts and changes in our everyday that do impact us in the days and weeks to come. Until tomorrow, my friends.